Hello, everyone. Today is technically when you'll be hearing this. Actually, is
It's the
is
last episode of
Boxing
the year.
Day. Yeah, is the last episode of the year for At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And the executioner, Daniel Travis.
Yeah, we are recording this full transparency. We literally just finished recording the
Yeah,
John
okay.
Cena episode. I
Yeah,
haven't even edited it
that,
yet.
that
We're
boy.
doing this so we don't have to record on Christmas, okay?
Anyway,
And we're just gonna talk about the year in review for the podcast, wrestling, pop
yeah,
culture, whatever.
yeah, etc. So, we got some, okay, in pop culture, the only really new thing we got in pop culture was we got the start of the new soup. We got the debut of James Gunn's universe, both with the
Well,
series.
the live action debut of it.
We don't know, yeah, right, because the year before we had Creature Commandos, which was just Suicide Squad.
Weird.
It was just
Yeah.
basically a monster
Suicide
suicide.
Squad with monsters.
Yeah, which was a weird choice. And then live action, you got the Superman movie, which was great.
And Peacemaker Season 2, which I still have not finished.
Yeah, but you got a uh, you got a good adaptation, and you got a good adaptation of Lex. You got it all right. You got a good adaptation for Superman.
Hey, David Cornswith, my opinion, hot take, is a better adaptation of Superman than Henry Cavill.
Yeah, we also got Fantastic Four, which had a good adaptation of Galactus. At least it was the one you could actually see.
Yeah, and that'll lead into something happening next year with Avengers Doomsday.
Yes. Yeah. And also Spider-Man Brand New Day with the Hulk
With a
and
much
the
angrier Hulk than the one in the MC.
yeah, and the Punisher and Tombstone, which is played by the same dude that played Tobias Whales, which is a whole other
Black
level.
Lightning.
Which that dude is a whole other level,
I just hope that doesn't become a typecasting for this guy.
right? Plus, okay, this year, yeah, we didn't really get a whole lot of like superhero wise. That was it.
Yeah.
Wasn't like what other pop culture stuff happened
I mean, I
in
know
this?
neither of us have seen this as of this recording, but we got a sequel to the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, showing that that game, even though Scott Cawthon's taken a step back from it, is the lore of that series still capturing the internet in its animatronic jaws.
Yeah, a series that I watched like the first another thing that happened this year was you also got the debut of Welcome to Derry, which was a Pennywise
It prequel series.
prequel or sequel, not really sure. Maybe both at the same time.
I'm assuming prequel since it has the word welcome in the name.
Yeah, from what I've seen, this is a much more, if I were to, honestly, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is a much more violent version of, to be honest, a violent version of,
And what else is new?
yeah, I mean,
We got the buying, separating, and new purchase of Warner Brothers.
by Netflix,
Yeah, which that's not gonna affect the DCU, at least not now. But
because the
who
person,
knows what the future beholds?
because, well, Paramount tried, but I have heard from major news sources that Warner Brothers has told their shareholders to reject Paramount's offer.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
blame them to be honest.
yeah, but
Like,
that's like,
what would the DCU look like under the same banner as freaking Nickelodeon? Paramount is the parent company for Nickelodeon.
yeah, and also because when you also think about it, when with Warner Brothers buying with Netflix buying Warner Brothers is they're also gonna have one large ass streaming service.
Yeah,
A huge.
like the DC movies, they're still gonna be in theaters, and then they're gonna go to HBO Max. That app is not going away, and
How do we
then they'll go to Netflix.
or one day they might just merge the two apps together.
Maybe, who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. But we also got in the world of what else? We also got a new Jurassic Park movie that I still need to watch.
I haven't seen any of the more recent Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah,
Last Jurassic Park I saw was a kid, and I watched it with my cousin. It was like the first one, I think.
yeah. There wasn't really a whole lot of. Honestly, the only we got was more sequels. There's a lot of sequels this year. A lot. And okay, yeah, sure. Wrestling we talked about. I mean, wrestling was the only
Yeah,
big thing was John Cena retirement. That was it.
unfortunately, you're right.
That was the only big thing.
But speaking of wrestling, I got a notification on my watch from Newsbreak that John Cena's come out of retirement to help Cody Rhodes, but not for a match. I have not read the article. I don't know what it's about.
Probably his wrestling school.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Next year has man. Next year, talk about next year here is that we got a lot of shit next year.
Mostly in the pop culture department.
Yeah, we got
Like, movie
Supergirl.
buffs are gonna be eating good next year, dog.
Yeah, you got uh Avengers Doomsday. You got Supergirl. You got Clayface.
I'm not sure if the
There's
Batman Part 2 has been pushed back or not.
I think it got pushed back to like 2027.
A mutual friend of ours has actually sent a message to us on Instagram earlier today saying that the Batman Part 2 will take inspiration from the Long Halloween.
My response to that is,
Didn't the first one as well?
or do you mean Dark Victory? Because that would be the sequel to it.
The post said the Long Halloween.
I'm not, huh?
Nani?
Yeah, we got yeah. There isn't really a whole lot of major like there are way too many movies. I think like I've seen like a new Narnia movie, a new Avatar, a new no, not new Avatar. That the one came out earlier this week. That Blue People one. Yeah, there's a third one of that.
Yeah.
Uh
Next year we got the Avatar The Last Airbender Season 2 on Netflix.
yes. We also got okay, let me ask you for next year because I know we kind of did but this is figure this is a fair question to ask on this podcast. But what is the number one movie you are looking forward to next year?
I would need to pull up like a slate of them. I'm not entirely sure.
For me, um I mean I would say I am hyped. Oh yeah, that's right. We also got the Lantern series coming out.
But yeah,
But I will say personally, I am looking forward to the I'm kind of hyped towards the Supergirl movie, and maybe I'm very curious to see what they do for Clayface, but I'm very intrigued. The one movie that has me intrigued but also very curious is Avengers Doomsday because I'm very curious to see what Robert Downey Jr. is gonna do and to see how the Russo brothers portray Victor Von Doom.
yeah, and I will say it has to be a whatever the MCU calls doppelgangers.
It doesn't have to.
Yeah, but Robert Downey Jr. already died once as Tony Stark. Are you telling me that that Tony Stark and Victor Von Doom are twin brothers?
Hey, it's a possibility in the MCU. I mean, because keep in mind, the one report that I've heard is somehow this movie, the new Avengers movie, I have heard somehow is going to connect back to Endgame somehow. Not sure how.
Keep in mind, Tom Holland will not be the Spider-Man in that movie. Tobey Maguire is coming back, which I guess means that the Sam Raimi movies are now canon to the MCU, just on a
Yeah,
different Earth.
yeah, cause
And that would also count for Andrew Garfield now that I think about it.
yeah, that also would be true. Cause I will say, the MC, like, we don't really like this year. There wasn't really a whole lot of major things that happened in the world of pop culture that, like, for me, was kind of just a bit surprising about looking back on this
Yeah.
year. Like, the only big movie that I could
Well,
think of.
part of the problem with that for our podcast is we only talk about superheroes when we talk about pop culture.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. We got there was a lot of there probably was a lot of other movies like Zootopia 2 got a sequel.
Didn't see it. I didn't even see the first one.
Yeah, you got I don't really know oh yeah, I know they got a new SpongeBob movie came out this year
I'll make sure to add that to my digital library.
With the Flying Dutchman being played by Mark Hamill.
I'm definitely adding that to my library then. I freaking love Mark Hamill.
Yeah,
Not much to talk about that you think about as the year winds down. I
yeah.
think part of the reason we don't have more to talk about is this year we took a hiatus after my surgery.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. God, that was really this year. I was in Japan. God damn.
Yeah, yeah, you've traveled out of the country twice this year.
God
First
damn.
you went to the First you went on a cruise in Asia and ended in the land of the rising sun.
No mustard.
And then more recently we took a 2 or 3 week long hiatus
Two
because you
weeks.
were in Africa.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Damn. That doesn't feel like this year. I'm like, oh yeah, that was this year.
It's like, God, this year's been weird.
Yeah, we got like pop culture wise. Yeah, I will say uh right, cause all right, we had the ending live the year before of the ending of Superman Lois. That happened.
Yeah, this year we also did our first tier ranking on the podcast.
Yeah, we also talked about on this
We
podcast.
also arguably had more audio issues than we've ever had this year.
Uh, I will say, we did also get some great. Like, we also talked about what James. This has me more curious for what James Gunn is gonna do. We talked about a couple times about what James Gunn has gotta do for his Batman. Please don't lean too
Yeah,
much into the real. All I can say is please don't lean too much into the realism or just forget about it.
yeah. Also, when is that Robin's dynamic duo movie coming out? You know, that one that involves puppetry and CGI.
Yeah, I don't know. I think James Gunn needs to be more clear and be like, hey, these things are happening. He's like, okay, when?
We also got the announcement of a new Lego Batman game this year, coming out next year.
That is something I want to get. Cause it's
It
like
is available for pre-order now, believe it or not.
I would pre-order, but my Xbox is in the state is in
You're currently
Georgia.
away from your Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that is if but that is something I definitely gotta pre-order. Cause it's Lego Batman mixed with Arkham Combat.
Fun fact, you can Lego's actually feeling really smart with their marketing. You can get gold skins for some of the Batmobiles if you buy specific Lego Batmobile sets.
Hmm.
Like,
Because
you
of
gotta
course.
admit, that's smart on Lego's part.
Yeah, yeah. You got eh, there isn't really a whole lot of like good okay, any more things you want to talk about before we end this thing?
Nope, I just want to wish the listeners a happy holidays and a happy new year. And our first recording will be literally the day after New Year's Day.
Yeah, pretty much.
See you
Bye.
guys in 2026.